All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my um, Samurai Crystalline Conflict PvP guide, where I will be going over the Samurai in Final Fantasy XIV when, in terms of its kit in power in Crystalline Conflict. Keep in mind, we are just going over um, the tips and tricks for Crystalline Conflict. However, these abilities do are the same in Frontline. So while most of my opinions and discussions are related to Crystalline Conflict, if you're just starting out in PvP, whether you're doing Frontlines or CC, um, hopefully this will help you out. Um, So I'm really going over what the samurai does, its strengths and weaknesses, and what can it provide to the group in battle. So the number one strength of samurai is very, very strong burst. It has very, very strong burst potential. It can deal lots of damage in a short amount of time. Strength number two, it has a very, very powerful limit break. It can be used, if used correctly, to one shot not only an opponent, but multiple opponents at once. It has a reliable CC in the form of a single target stun with a relatively short cooldown. It also has a high skill ceiling, which makes good play feel very, very rewarding. And you also get a badass katana. I mean, can't go wrong with that, right? Its weaknesses, I feel, are its defenses. It only has one defensive buff that it may place upon itself for a 25% damage reduction for a short period. It also has no escape option. The samurai is usually going all in a lot of the times. No way to disengage. It also has no ranged option, so you must engage in melee for all of your attacks. And for the final weakness, it's LB. I know I said that it's very strong, but if you miss an LB or you somehow fail to get any kills during your limit break, the time of its charge is very long. It takes a very long time to charge. So it makes missing those very, very punishing. Let's go ahead and go over its kit. You're only going to have one combo button, and it's going to be this button down here, this Kasha combo. This is your bread and butter. You will always start off using Yukikaze when you press it the first time, which has the lowest potency. Then you will do Gecko, which is the second highest potency, and then you will finish off with Kasha, which is the highest potency within the combo. So let's see how it looks like. You will always be hitting this button, but as you can see, the potency does rise from 3k to 4k and finally to 5k before resetting back to Yukikaze. Okay. Moving on from Kasha, we are going to be looking at your dash ability. Now, the reason why I'm looking at the dash ability is because it plays heavily into the Kasha combo. These two go hand in hand, and I'll show you why. You have 3 charges of your dash. It has a 20 yalm range, so it's pretty long. So from here, you can dash to your target. You will dash behind your target. So keep that in mind. It kind of puts you in a little more danger, but You know, maybe it can throw someone off every once in a while. The biggest thing when you use this is it transforms your Kasha combo into an AoE, and your AoE changes based on what combo point you're in. So if you're at the beginning, if you're at Kasha and you dash towards a target, you have an AoE bind attack. It still has the same potency, but it becomes AoE and has an additional effect. For Kasha or Yukikaze, it is a bind. For Gecko, it is an AoE damaging ability, which has the highest potency of all of your attacks at 8,000. And if you do it during your Kasha combo, it has a 5k potency, so same potency, but it'll grant you a 5k heal for every opponent that you hit. So a potential of 5 opponents in Crystalline Conflict, you're going to heal yourself up for 25,000 health if you manage to hit every single enemy with it. So remember, you can use this based on your needs. So if you need damage, you can start off with Yukikaze, dash, and then use your Mangetsu, which does 8k potency if you need the damage. And you can finish off with the Kasha if you don't want the AoE. Dash again. Hit him with a bind. Keep him in place. Dash again. So you're going to be weaving your dash in melee range a lot, because this actually recharges incredibly quickly. And of course, you want to hit as many opponents as possible. If you're single target, if you're just dueling somebody, they can come in helpful as well, right? The bind and the extra damage from your Mangetsu, right? The 8k. So keep that in mind when you're engaging in melee combat. Another thing you can use your dash for is it acts as a pseudo escape. Okay, it's not really an escape, but if you're in the middle of combat here and say someone is diving your back line and he's alone over here and you're in trouble, you can switch targets and you can get away from combat that way. That is your only escape option, quote, because you don't really have anything else. But it does make you very slippery. And it's very cool. The next thing we're going to go over is your stun. It's called Minuchi. It's a 20-second ability which stuns for 2 seconds. A little quirk of this ability is that it deals damage equal to 10% of the target's current HP, and it ignores guard when dealing damage. Now, I wouldn't recommend using this ability to deal damage against enemies in guard unless it guarantees a kill, because what you're really looking after, or you're looking for, is you're looking for that 2-second stun. And since it's an ability, you can use it in between your GCDs. So, very simple, but a very, very good ability that you should be using to lock down your targets after they drop their guard, or if you're looking to secure a kill. The next ability we're going to go over is Ogi Namakiri. Now, this has a cast time of 1.3 seconds, so you must stand still during this cast. Has a recast time of 20 seconds. And what it does is it does an 8,000 potency attack in front of you, and then it changes to a Kaishi Namakiri, which is just a second attack, which deals the same amount of damage to enemies in front of you. The biggest thing you need to know about this ability is that if you can hit 2 targets with this ability in its cone, you'll get a shield. I wouldn't necessarily like hardcore go for this. You're mainly going to be using Ogi Namakiri to burst and go for kills. The shield that you get on top of it is just kind of nice. So you're going to dash towards, hit Ogi, and then you can hit it again for another 8k. Okay, and it has a relatively short cooldown. So it's a very good burst option. Just try to use this as much as possible. Really. Just has great potential to kill. And see, the cone is actually pretty big. I can hit 2 targets just by standing here. See how I hit that dummy here? So the cone is actually pretty wide. So don't worry too much about like aiming it. Just use it. And finally, for your final damage ability, you have Mikio Shisui. Now, at first, this is a buff, okay, that you give to yourself. And what it does is it basically makes you immune to CC for 3 seconds. Now, I know that is not very long. 3 seconds, not a very long window for you to maneuver, right? So you're basically going to be using this on cooldown as well. This is going to be used as your engagement tool. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit Mikio. You're going to get your the buff here. See, it's already gone. But you're going to get it, you're going to dash in, and you're going to hit him with the Madari that it gives you by using Mikio Shisui. You only get one, right? But it is your strongest hitting attack at, I believe that was 16,000 potency. So it's your strongest hitting attack, for sure. So you're going to want to use this whenever you can. You're going to hit this, you're going to dash in, you're going to use it. Instant 16k. Can't complain about that, right? You can use that, you can then stun and then hit him with an Ogi. Get another 16k on him. So, wonderful burst potential. Now for your only real defensive ability, it's called Hisatsu Chiten. It has a 25-second recast time. And what it does is it reduces the damage you take by 25%. And any attacks that land on you, you'll do a retaliation attack of 2k. And it lasts 5 seconds. Okay? If your enemy hit you during this defensive buff, they will gain a debuff for 3 seconds, which allows them to take 25% more damage from your attacks. So basically, really good dueling tool. It's a good way to engaging tool. So a lot of the time you are going to be using Mikio, Chiten, and then dash in. So not only are you immune to CC, but if they hit you, which more than likely they will do, they'll get punished for doing so. And then you can punish them more effectively. The debuff only lasts 3 seconds, though, on them. So keep that in mind. It's a very short debuff. Now, the reason I talk about this one last is because Chiten plays into your LB, which is Zantetsuken. Now, what Zantetsuken is a 24,000 attack line dash. So it's a lot like your Soten, your dash button. It basically is that with a small cast time. And if they are under the effect of the debuff that you give them when they hit you during your defensive cooldown, they will take 100% of their maximum HP and damage. Basically, if they're not shielded, if they don't have extra HP, they will be one-shot by your LB. So a lot of the times you'll hit your Chiten, you'll dash in, you'll hit them with the Madare. They're going to hit you during this. They'll get the debuff, and that's when you hit Zantetsuken. And that will usually kill them. It's a great retaliation tool. Just keep in mind, you can be CC'd during your Chiten ability if you don't have Mikio Shisui up. So there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want to LB, you're spamming the heck out of it, but you're stunned or you're snared. So keep that in mind that you cannot use Zantetsuken if you are CC'd. This also ignores the effect of guard when dealing damage. So say an opponent hits you during your Chi 10, they have the debuff, they realize, oh crap, I shouldn't have hit you. They put up their guard. It doesn't matter if you hit them with Zanten and they have the debuff, they're gonna die. So keep that in mind. One last note on your LB, as you can see, it takes a long time for your LB to charge. So I don't want to say hold it, because holding it more than likely will hurt you more than help you. But always keep in mind when overtime is going to hit in your Crystalline Conflict matches when you are playing Samurai. If you're getting close to overtime and your LB is almost finished, you're going to want to hold that LB until overtime, until you can get those kills to hopefully snowball you into a victory. You usually can get 2-ish LBs off, assuming that you don't have a Bard. So you'll get one in the middle of the match, and then you'll get one near the end of the match. In my experience. So you're going to want to keep that in mind as well. So yeah, that is the basics for Samurai. As for tips, really, you're going to be a target a lot in Melee. So you're going to want to keep... you're going to want to know where your team is in relevance to where you are, because a lot of your teammates really can't dash in like you do. So that leaves you very open. Even with Chi-10, you're going to have you're going to be the target of everyone's attack unless you have your LB up. In the higher ranks, you will find that people will actually actively disregard you in fear of you using your Chi-10 and then hitting them with a Zanten. But if you do use your Chi-10 during LB and you don't get anything out of that, your opponent will see that. They will see that you wasted your Chi-10, and then you're obviously not going to use your Zanten until your Chi-10 is back up. It takes a lot of skill and finesse to play Samurai, but it is one of my favorite jobs to play in Crystalline Conflict, just because it's so much fun. It is a lot of fun to dash around, and of course the LB is sick. Alright, and that's it for the Samurai PvP basics for Crystalline Conflict. If you have any questions or would like to know more, feel free to leave a comment below the video. I will get back to you as soon as I can. You can also visit my Twitch. I usually go live Tuesday through Saturday. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays evenings, I do Final Fantasy XIV PvP. Currently, right now, I am in Diamond. I'm pushing through Diamond. I'm looking to get to Crystal soon. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching the video, and good luck in your matches. And maybe one day I will see you on the battlefield. Take care, everyone.